AITA for inviting my sons to dinner. My daughter recently turned 30. To celebrate, she and her boyfriend went away for the weekend, and when they returned she planned a dinner for the following week with family and friends. It was a buffet-style dinner, where everyone brought something and guests could take what they wanted to. My wife, her stepmother, was immediately excited as she loves to cook, and planned to bring 2 courses, a main course and a dessert, both that she had cooked multiple times that our sons love. A few days later, my daughter told me she had to cancel the party. She had planned to throw it at her boyfriend's house, but new neighbors had moved in next door who were having lots of work done to the house, so it was too loud, and there was not enough room in her flat. So, I offered to host at our house. There was plenty of space and we know most of her friends and relatives already, so there was no one we were uncomfortable with inviting into her home. She was unsure at first, but eventually agreed. Here's where I might be a bit of an asshole. My daughter had always said the party was 18. It was expected to go on for a few hours and people were planning to drink. However, my wife and I have 3 sons, 15, 12 and 8, and we could not kick them out of the house for the night. My wife said that my daughter would know that by having the party here, her brothers would be invited, but apparently she did not, as even her own children and her boyfriend's daughter had been excluded from the guest list. Everything was fine at first, but when all the guests arrived and dinner was served, my wife called for my sons to join us in the dining room and my daughter was visibly unhappy with this, but she did not say anything. She seemed to be avoiding us for the rest of the night and left with her friends far earlier than she said she was going to, deciding to drink at a local bar instead. Her boyfriend stayed to help clean up, but he did not say much. At first I assumed she just didn't want to get drunk around her parents, but the following day she texted me expressing her upset that I had ignored her wishes and invited her brothers, that the event was supposed to be adults only for a reason and it made a lot of her friends uncomfortable to have children around when they were supposed to be drinking relaxing. She said that when I offered to host the event she thought I knew what I was taking on. I will admit that my 15 years old was rather annoying to her and some of her friends, but I do not think that their presence ruined the entire evening, and I do not see why, with so much home-cooked food in the house, my sons were expected not to eat any. And I do not see why her friends could not drink or relax just because my sons were there. My wife insists we did nothing wrong, that my daughter should have known the boys would be there since they live here, but I can now see that this is not what my daughter wanted for her birthday celebration and worry I am the asshole. AITA.